What is going on, everyone? I was driving by NRG today and I felt nothing, no energy, no buzz, and there's still 3 games left in the season. When I mean the Houston City is checked out of this team, it is checked out. And I saw a tweet today that only proved that point, and that was that the Houston Texans were the least watched team in the NFL. We are not trying to watch this Houston Texans play, and it's just a testament of how bad this team is. And honestly, it's been that way for the past couple years. If I'm being quite honest, I am scared that we are on the verge of being a a horrible football team, a horrible organization. And that's why when you're Nick Casario, I'm kind of pleading and I'm asking for the hot seat to be turned on bright because a change is needed. And then I started thinking, who can come in and right the ship for the Houston Texans? We talked about Ben Johnson. We also did a mock draft, right? This is how I want to tie in the videos. Not only talk about a potential head coach, but do a mock draft for their potential draft class going into this offseason. Because honestly, guys, I need this Houston Texans team to be competitive again. It doesn't feel right being a losing football city, knowing that football is key here in Texas. And it is hard for the fans not to love this team. When you go out to the tailgates, guys, it's absolutely empty. We don't want to get drunk anymore. So, with that being said, if the Houston Texans fire Lovie Smith and this coaching staff, I will go out there the next day and say that the Houston Texans need to hire Demeco Ryan to be their next head coach. He is the current defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. Former Houston Texan, was drafted in the second round. He was an all pro, two-time Pro Bowler, rookie defensive player of the year, was traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. He played there for 4 years, was a captain there. Everyone loves Demeco Ryans. This is the number one hire in everyone's mind. If you want to have the city of Houston bought right back in, you hire Demeco Ryans. We have been hearing and the praises about him in San Francisco. He gets hired there in 2017 to be defensive quality coach. In 2018, right, a year later, gets promoted to the inside linebackers coach. He stays there until 2021, where he is then promoted yet again to defensive coordinator. He had a top 5 defense last year. He has the number 1 defense this year. And when you look at head coaches, right, he fits a couple of the builds. He's young. He is still in his 30s later. I think he's 36, 37. He is energetic. He jokes with his team. They love him. They talked about how they listen to him, not only because he is a great leader, but because of when he was a player, he was damn good on the football field. I just talked about his accolades right there. Demeco Ryans wasn't a scrub in the NFL, and he has his 49ers defense playing fantastic the past couple years. He learned under Saleh, and he's doing his own thing now. And when you're talking about what immediate change can happen for the Houston Texans, well, it is Demeco Ryans. And if you hire him, everyone is completely bought in. And then we go into the potential mock draft, right? Who is Demeco Ryans going to draft number 1 overall? Let's go ahead and start that right now. Just give me a second, boys. With the first pick in the 2023 NFL draft, after hiring Demeco Ryans to be their next head coach, the Houston Texans select Jalen Carter, defensive tackle from Georgia, number 1 overall. This might be the best player in the draft. You saw him pick up the LSU quarterback and put the number 1 finger in the air. You saw him ragdoll the Oregon senior 330-pound offensive lineman, and Jalen Carter moved him with 1 arm. 7.5 tackles for loss on the season, 3 sacks. He is ferocious in the run game. You cannot afford to leave him one-on-one. When you're talking about this Houston Texans defense, it is dead last in every statistical category, much like the offense, right? There are so many holes on this Houston Texans team. This draft is going to vary, but Jalen Carter fixes this Houston Texans defense. There is a huge need in the interior defensive line. We are the worst team in the NFL at stopping the run. Teams were gashing us for 130 plus every single week. They still are. And Jalen Carter, he helps in the run game. You get the best player in the draft. A lot of people, they might want Bryce Young or CJ Stroud or even Will Levis, but I'm not going to judge Demeco Ryan if it goes out and gets Jalen Carter. I'm excited. And he is the only person that I will be okay with him and Will Anderson if it's not Bryce Young, if I'm being quite honest. And at number 13, you draft Jordan Addison, the best wide receiver in the draft for me. You give Davis Mills some help, some credit by taking Jalen Carter overall. You are still, having some type of hope that Davis Mills develops something into year 3. And if he's not there, there is Caleb Williams at UAC. I was only doing, the first round for the Houston Texans, but if I was to go into the second round, I'm taking the defensive tackle from Baylor all day, every day. And solidifying this Houston Texans defensive line, that would absolutely be crazy. I wouldn't mind that whatsoever. And let's see what Davis Mills has year 3. Nonetheless, I think the Houston Texans, Demeco Ryans to be their head coach. And then I think they should draft Jalen Carter, number 1 overall, because honestly, I wouldn't mind waiting for Caleb Williams. I do like Bryce Young, but this is all just hypotheticals and potential. You guys let me know how y'all feel about this. As always, go Texans. You guys have a very blessed day.